So I grew up in sort of a remote part of Queensland on a cattle property. So I had a sort of fairly amazing sort of upbringing out there on 5,000 acres, and I probably didn't have a great relationship with my dad. But yeah, I had my mum and my two sisters. We were quite close. Yeah, I was probably about 12 when I first got introduced to alcohol. My dad wasn't a heavy drinker, but his father was a heavy drinker. He was an alcoholic, and it kind of ran pretty thick in my family. He'd actually lost his father quite early to alcoholism, but there was always alcohol around our place, and I kind of knew where it was hidden. And yeah, I used to just like go and get little shots out of all of the alcohol around the property. And yeah, I used to just start drinking when I was quite young. Yeah, I think I'm not really sure. Like I was thinking about, as a 12-year-old, why are you thinking I want to go drink? And I'm not really sure. I think it had a lot to do with how I felt about my dad. Yeah, I think it was just a way of kind of coping with, I guess I was looking for acceptance, yeah. That was over a period of a few years. I went to boarding school when I was around 14 or 15 or something like that, and I think that was probably a step in the wrong direction for me. I could kind of get up to whatever I wanted there, and that's where I got introduced to pot, developed a bit of a habit with marijuana, and ended up getting expelled from high school for that. Would have been in America just when I was working over there. I was probably in my early 20s, and yeah, just like a lot of the friendships and relationships around me were really falling apart, and I was the cause of a lot of them. I was doing things I thought I'd never do. A lot of the morals and integrity that I'd grown up with, I'd just sort of thrown that out the window. And people back home that were starting to move on with their lives, they were getting married, they were making good decisions, they had businesses, and it felt like I was sort of stuck in this rut of like just going nowhere and just really depressed and becoming dependent on alcohol and drugs. I had to decide whether I was going to renew my visa and stay over there, and I decided that was a bad decision because I could kind of see where things were going, and that really was the turning point. I could see the direction of my life, and I guess that was a real blessing. I could like see this pathway I was heading. There was guys I was hanging out with. I'm like, I just don't want to end up like that. I came back to Australia. I worked for about 6 months, and I was going to work high, and it was just not good. It was really, really bad, and I wanted to change. I found out about a rehab in town called Teen Challenge, and I checked myself in. And so I did 9 months in rehab, and since then I've built my own business. I've got a beautiful wife who's just absolutely just my best friend, and she's just been such a great example to me in my life. And I've just seen so many things unfold where I've just seen like favour on my life because of the decisions I've made and because of who God is in my life. I really noticed with my life, a lot of the changes I've made have been the people that I'm around, like living a certain way. And it's like if I'm using drugs and I'm living in deceit and just in a yucky place, I kind of draw that to myself. That's a choice that I made. When I've chosen this new path of like I want to be free from that lifestyle. I want to live in peace and joy and love. I'm drawing those kind of friendships, and it's like those choices. To me, it's like life and death. I've got this whole new world that I never had before, and it's like, that other decision just leads straight to death. And I guess that's something important that I just wanted to say because that's how real it is.